What if the story of civilization didn't begin where you were taught it did? What if the true cradle of the ancient world lies not only in myths or dusty textbooks, but carved into stone, buried beneath forgotten cities, and written into the land itself? Turkey is not just a bridge between East and West, it is the bridge between humanity's earliest awakening and the world we live in today. From the first temples ever built to empires that shaped law, religion, warfare, and culture, this land holds secrets older than history itself. This is not just a story of a country. This is the story of where the ancient world truly began long before nations, borders, or written language existed. The land we now call Turkey was already alive with human ambition. Anatolia's geography made it unique: fertile plains, powerful rivers, protective mountains, and coastlines touching 3 seas. These natural advantages attracted early humans tens of thousands of years ago. Hunter-gatherers settled here, not just to survive, but to experiment, to build, to organize, and to believe. Archaeological evidence shows continuous human presence in Anatolia stretching back over 40,000 years. This was not a temporary stop, it was a foundation. Communities learned how to domesticate plants and animals earlier than many other regions. The climate allowed stability, and stability allowed thought. While other regions struggled with harsh extremes, Anatolia offered balance. This balance gave humanity something rare: time to imagine a future. The ancient world did not suddenly appear, it slowly awakened here, shaped by land that encouraged permanence rather than movement. Turkey was not following history, it was quietly inventing it. At Göbekli Tepe, everything we thought we knew about ancient civilization collapses. Built over 11,000 years ago, this site predates Stonehenge and the pyramids by millennia. Massive stone pillars, some weighing over 15 tons, were carved with animals, symbols, and abstract imagery created by people who were supposedly primitive. Yet there is no evidence of agriculture here, meaning belief came before farming, not after. This discovery changed history forever. Göbekli Tepe suggests that shared belief systems may have been the true force that brought humans together. Religion, ritual, and symbolism were not side effects of civilization, they were its engine. People gathered, planned, and coordinated labor on an unprecedented scale, all for something unseen. In Anatolia, humanity did not first build homes or cities, it built meaning. This spiritual awakening may be the first true step towards civilization. And it happened here, on Turkish soil. If Göbekli Tepe represents belief, Çatalhöyük represents daily life. Dating back over 9,000 years, this settlement shows us what early civilization actually looked like. There were no streets, no palaces, no kings. Homes were built wall to wall, entered through rooftops, forming a tightly connected community. Art covered the walls, hunting scenes, symbolic figures, and abstract patterns revealing a society rich in culture and identity. Çatalhöyük shows early equality, shared responsibility, and collective survival. Men and women were buried, similarly suggesting social balance. This was not chaos. It was organization without hierarchy. Food production, trade, and craftsmanship flourished. Anatolia wasn't just experimenting with civilization, it was refining it. Long before the great cities of Mesopotamia rose, Turkey was already living the future. Around 1600 BCE, Anatolia gave rise to one of the world's first true empires, the Hittites. From their capital at Hattusa, they controlled vast territories and rivaled Egypt and Mesopotamia. The Hittites were pioneers in law, diplomacy, and warfare. They created one of the earliest known peace treaties, the Treaty of Kadesh, proving that diplomacy could be as powerful as armies. They mastered iron technology before most civilizations, changing warfare forever. Their legal codes focused on compensation rather than punishment, a radical idea for the ancient world. The Hittites didn't just conquer, they governed intelligently. They absorbed cultures, languages, and gods, creating a flexible empire built on inclusion. In Anatolia, power was not only about force, it was about structure. For centuries, Troy was considered a legend until it was found in modern-day Turkey. Excavations revealed not one city, but many layers of Troy, each built atop the ruins of the last. This was a crossroads of trade, wealth, and conflict. The Trojan War, immortalized by Homer, may have been rooted in real geopolitical struggle rather than pure myth. Troy represents something powerful, the moment when history and storytelling merge. Anatolia preserved not only events, but memory. The ancient world learned how to turn reality into legend here. This ability to shape narrative would define civilizations for thousands of years. Many forget that some of the greatest Greek cities were not in Greece. Ephesus, Miletus, and Pergamon rose along Anatolia's western coast. Philosophy, science, and democracy were not born in isolation, they flourished through cultural exchange. Thales, Heraclitus, and Anaximander all came from this region. Here, humans first asked not just how the world works, but why. Libraries, theaters, and temples turned knowledge into legacy. Anatolia was not borrowing Greek culture, it was shaping it. The ancient world's intellectual foundation was deeply rooted in Turkish land. When Rome expanded eastward, it didn't erase Anatolia, it depended on it. Cities like Byzantium became vital centers of administration, trade, and defense. Roads, aqueducts, and laws connected Asia to Europe. Anatolia became the engine that kept the Roman Empire alive. Even after Rome fell in the west, its eastern heart continued beating here. This land preserved classical knowledge while the rest of the world fell into darkness. Turkey did not just witness history, it protected it. As Constantinople, the city, stood as the capital of the Byzantine Empire for over 1,000 years. Here, Roman law, Greek philosophy, and Christian theology merged into a powerful legacy. Ancient texts were copied, studied, and saved. Without Byzantium, much of classical knowledge might have been lost forever. Anatolia became humanity's archive, a living memory of the ancient world. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all passed through Anatolia, leaving deep marks. Prophets walked this land. Churches, synagogues, and mosques rose upon ancient foundations. Cultural exchange was constant. Rather than replacing the past, each era layered itself upon it. Turkey became a living timeline where belief systems coexisted and evolved. This continuity is rare and priceless. Civilization is not a single invention, it is a chain reaction. Belief, settlement, law, philosophy, empire, and memory all appeared early in Anatolia. Other regions rose and fell, but Turkey endured. Its land absorbed ideas, refined them, and passed them on. The ancient world did not start in one moment, it grew here, slowly and powerfully. To understand where we come from, we must look to Turkey not as a side chapter of history, but as its opening pages. Turkey is not just a place on the map, it is the foundation beneath civilization itself. Every stone, every ruin, every forgotten city tells a story older than nations and deeper than myth. When we trace humanity's journey back to its roots, we don't find a single beginning, we find Anatolia. The true origin of the ancient world was never lost. It has been waiting here all along,